inspired by the story of Peter Pan, and I'd like to hear a little more about that.
Oh, well, I was excited when I read the book first, and then I saw the movie. And the movie was it was in 1924, and I was trying to remember who was it? It wasn't Douglas Fairbanks who was the Peter Pan. It was
Betty Bronson.
Betty Bronson.
Betty Bronson was, but I didn't remember any of that. All I knew was that I was excited by the story, and I always became part of the book when I was into a book or saw the movie, and that left me with many, many pictures of Peter Pan flying, and I wanted to fly. I really wanted to fly.
So you wanted to be a
So-
part of Peter Pan's merry band
I
and
sure
never grow up.
I did.
So tell me, you told me that you had actually written a little bit about that story. Can you read that for
Yeah,
me?
I wrote it in my autobiography, and I said, when I was 6 years old, we began construction of our new home, and my parents and their home sold their home downtown, and we started building a house out in Westwood in Muncie. And we moved in the meantime to an apartment that my grandfather owned, which was next to their home downtown. And it was in a funny place. It was an old apartment and was on the second floor. And it was sort of like a railroad car, I remember, a long, narrow building. And to get to it, you had a flight of like a fire escape. That we went up this fire escape to the second floor to get into the apartment. It was very strange. But one night I was sleeping and I woke up about, I guess, 3 o'clock in the morning or something, and I thought, I'm going to find Never Never Land. I'm going to find Peter Pan. So I got up, quietly dressed, and came down that fire escape, and it was a very dangerous thing. I did it though. And I started walking down the sidewalk came across next to my grandparents' house, and I thought, oh my goodness, I can't go to Never Never Land and never see my grandmother again, Nana. I must say goodbye. So I went up to the front door and knocked, and my uncle, Chauncey, who was living in the house there at the time, answered the door, and he kind of looked at me a little funny, and I said, well, I just had to come and say goodbye to Nana because I'm going to join Peter Pan's band. And so he said, well, come right on in. Nana's upstairs in bed asleep. Just go ahead. She's up there. So I walked in the house, climbed up the stairs, and kind of woke my grandmother up, and she said, well, come on in and get in bed with me and get warm. So I did, and the minute I did that, I fell asleep. So my trip to Never Never Land was indefinitely
canceled.
Yeah, canceled.
What a great! And how old would you have been then?
I was 6.
6 years old.
Between 6 and 7.
So that's a pretty vivid memory because the movie was so impactful to you.
Yes, and after reading the book, here were all the people just alive and flying around, and I just wanted to fly.
And the best part of it is that your family just indulged you. A 6-year-old knocking on the door saying, I'm going to go become part of Peter Pan and find Never Never Land. And then there you are, climbed in bed, and you were wrapped up in that wonderful family. That's a great story.
And then I remember, just as I was waking up in the morning, I heard my grandmother on the phone saying, well, if you want to know where Lucina is, she's here in bed with me.
Oh.
And so they contacted Mother, so they didn't panic.
No worry on the
they
parents.
saw me empty bed out there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you would have put everybody in a big stir. Well, what a great story. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Well, it was something that I just never forgot. It was so vivid.
And then you'll get to see Peter Pan again
Oh, yes.
with the music being played by the Indianapolis Chamber Orchestra.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the good part.
On February 20th. That's great.
I think I'm really looking forward to that.
Good. So are we.